love. I'm in love, impressed, because when you do the same thing for so long and so often, you think that you have it, that you have the best system, the best look. I got this down. And then see you doing this, like open my mind to new possibilities, completely elevate the brand. I like the science behind it, because you just didn't put it in a way that looks beautiful. You put in a way that that works. I'm totally blown away by it. I love it. Arnie, and this has been a wonderful experience for me.
You like ditch the plastic table.
Made with wood and portable.
Yes.
That's key.
Yeah.
Yeah, the plastic. Even though I have cloths, fitted cloths with my brand gray, with my logo in gold, that covers everything, doesn't show, but you know what's in there.
Yes. I like how much more condensed this got. I feel like you're utilizing some of the space below for the bigger stuff, and you can see it, right? It's very clear.
How to use some of the space.
The one thing that's good and bad, depending on how you look at it, is when you switch everything to vertical ledge, it's just such a small footprint now. And so if you have a 10 by 10 or a 20 by 20 space, you need a lot of fixtures and a lot of inventory.
I thought it was fantastic to see this transformation. It felt like Carla actually does a multi-dimensional setup for her market tables already, which is in some cases a step above the merchandising that we see where everything is sort of flat lay as opposed to multi-leveled. But this instantly elevated it. It was so cool to see the sort of gallery style edit. I think that's a really on point approach for Carla and her brand, which each individual piece of jewelry is a work of art, so it translated really organically and seamlessly. I love how lots of the pieces really pop off of the shelf, and I can take it all in. I think editing by collection makes a lot of sense. And you know, Kristen and I are often curating locations within a market, and we like to bring in brands that we know merchandise in a really strong way, that they have a point of view, that they draw the eye, and those get premium placement. They get the corner, they get, you know, a great spot within the market. So this has a ripple effect where it can really set a brand up for success in so many different ways.
Carla already has that multi-dimensional display, and seeing it moved into a smaller footprint that may be more manageable for setting up and breaking down, but still keeping the luxury level approach to her jewelry, which is, you know, beautiful and amazing and luxurious. It just translates and just bumps it up that extra little level. And I loved how you walked through the psychology of placement. I think that a lot of people don't kind of think about that necessarily when they're setting up their booths or their displays, especially in that vertical range.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you sharing that insight.
We made a custom display for a rum, Clever Fox rum out of Southern California, and they got into Total Wines, and they were able to bring in their own display. But it had to fit this tiny little footprint, and it had to be a certain height, a certain width, and so we had to make it super compact. And she said it was cheaper for them to do this little aisle runner than for them to have premium placement on like a 10-inch face front. Like she could only fit 2 of her bottles, and it was like very fascinating to see the difference. I'm like, that is more expensive than this whole end cap promotional deal. And so that was really eye-opening too, just like when we think about markets and pop-ups and retail spaces in general. I always recommend, like, in this case you don't have this, but a lot of our vendors that we work with have like damaged product, or, you know, test color product, or kind of like secondhand stuff. And so I'm always like, you can always put your second stuff on these bottom 2 shelves, and do like a big call to action, like shop my seconds, because you think about like young 20-year-olds or that want to shop the market, and they want something kind of quirky and fun, and they're like, I can afford that, and that's great because it's accessible then.
Absolutely. I'm blown away. The way you respect and appreciate my brand means a lot to me.
And I The next extension of this is like for you to document how you want your setup to be and to hire staff that can represent you well. Because
Yes.
I feel like that's such a hurdle to growth. You can't be coach. You're one of a kind. Amazing. But
Oh my God.
I was like, theater students, who can you bring in to like have the exuberance
I cannot
that you do?
find if you guys, and I've trained someone, because unfortunately I have to be in the store, because if I'm not, my product doesn't sell. So I was gonna be away for 2 days. I trained someone, boom, she called me the night before, I'm having panic attacks, I cannot make it. I'm like, you're gonna have a panic attack in your left eye if you don't go. No, I'm like, okay, I understand. So you know what I mean? It's very difficult to find people. I cannot. I found when I went to talk at BU in March and I was talking to business students, a couple approached me, oh, I want to work with you, I want to work with you. I'm like, awesome. But I mean, in the backstage, right, doing marketing stuff, and then I saw the quality of the work. Unfortunately, I'm like, oh, I paid for everything, but like, really, I'm gonna charge me for this?